Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Live Your Dreams podcast. I am your host, Joe Gawalis, alongside my fantastic co host,
Where's Victor?
Chris. Today, we are honored to welcome an incredible individual who is capturing the world through the power of cinema and storytelling. An award winning director whose work has captivated audiences on Netflix, BBC, and film festivals around the world. She is the creative force behind acclaimed projects that became Netflix Italy's first original series, a national phenomenon. And right now, her latest film, the breathtaking documentary, Because I Believe, Andrea Bocelli, is incredible, and it offers unprecedented access into his life, blending rare archival footage, intimate interviews, and behind the scenes moments. It's a moving celebration of his voice, his faith, his family, and an extraordinary journey from humble beginnings to the global stage. It premiered at the Toronto International Film Festival and will be released in theaters worldwide on September 21st and 24th. Please welcome on the show the incredible mind behind this, Cosima Spender, to the Live Your Dreams podcast. Cosima, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Great to be on the show. Thanks for inviting me.
I have to say thank you, because really we had the chance to watch the documentary and we were truly both just
Yeah.
so moved from start to finish. It was really a brilliant creation you were able to make.
Well, I think it was a great privilege to be able to make that film.
A
You know,
hundred percent.
be able to hang out with Andrea Bocelli in his own home and to see the man behind the voice and behind the kind of public persona that he has is quite a unique moment or opportunity. And I was determined to kind of capture the atmosphere in his house where music is so alive and to capture his relationship with his incredible wife, who's also his manager,
Yes.
and
Yes.
with his daughter Veronica, Virginia,
Oh,
was only 11 when I was filming, and also his friends and the people he grew up with, and to show how important the sense of belonging is in someone's life, and how attached he still is to his roots, to his home life, to his family, the importance he places on that, and the value he places on that.
You're
I was
absolutely
so
right.
moved. I was so moved, Joe, and I couldn't believe last night. I was only wishing that my grandparents were alive. I'm just Italian as well. My background, they loved him. I wish they were alive to see this documentary. I mean, you showed him the intimate sides of him. Actually, yeah, I think I even saw him skydiving there. He is living his dreams all throughout his life. It's an amazing, amazing man.
Yes, absolutely. No, really, the way you introduced him, he is such a warm individual. I think it was amazing getting to see his personal life. I love the shots of you going into his home, his beauty, and how much he loves his homeland. Really, truly came true, because he has such an amazing voice. He's so well known for obviously his public persona, but you humanized him in such a beautiful way that just made him such a warm and amazing individual. You kind of felt like you were at home with him during this whole process.
Yes, and his home is unique because not many of us can say we live with music that's so alive, and the tradition of opera as well, not just singing along, not to undermine the kind of pop culture, but the fact
Yes.
that he can break into operatic moments, and he does because he's constantly checking his voice. So he's got this
Mm.
relationship with his voice, almost like he's the vehicle for this kind of other spiritual phenomena, which is his voice, and he's just checking on that voice, constantly checking that it's in tune, checking how it is. And he's quite a kind of humble person. He's always saying, I was just born with this voice or this gift, and it's just luck, really. But you know what? He's really working at that voice. He's making sure he's leading a healthy life, and not doesn't have vices. He doesn't go out drinking or smoking. He really is. He has this kind of athletic attitude towards the voice, because actually when you're singing opera, it is a very physical thing. It is quite close to being an athlete, and we all know that athletes do have to have a very kind of specific lifestyle. So he is willing to put the work in to fulfill his dream. And of course, we should all have dreams, and we do all have dreams. And it's really good to have dreams, but you also have to work at getting those dreams realized. And it's not all just served to you. He had to wait a long time. He only got well known when in his 30s.
Yes, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
wow. Yeah.
And before that, he'd studied to become a lawyer and then actually would
Right.
get too upset doing the law cases. But he kind of stuck to his dream, and he was in a piano bar. He was in the local piano bar in
Yes.
this rural part of Italy. And he was quite happy being in the piano bar, really. I mean, it didn't make him enough money, so he was happy to be, because his dream had always been to support himself and his family through his passion, which
Sure,
was
sure.
the voice. But he stuck to the piano bar, and eventually in his 30s, he kind of got discovered
Mm.
in a kind of fortuitous way. He had to be a stand-in for Pavarotti for a demo tape for
Yes,
famous.
Oh,
Yeah. So he did the demo tape, but then actually the song was never going to be recorded with him. It was going to be recorded with Pavarotti.
yes.
So then when Pavarotti heard this voice, he's like, well, you don't need me. You could just use this guy. Who is this guy from the
exactly.
piano bar? Um, but I think by that stage, he was so kind of solid as a person, so kind of at ease and happy with living in this part of Italy, and very rooted, very with a strong friendship group, with a sense of community, and he never let go of that. And I think it really prevented from fame kind of derailing him, because sometimes when fame comes too early on in people's lives, if
Oh, yeah.
they don't have the solidity to handle it, then it can destroy you. But it didn't destroy him at all.
You're
He's
you're so right. Yeah, and that's so beautifully said. I love that you said it that way because especially for our listeners, his story is one that you can be so proud of because you hear of so many stories of great artists that you said they got famous too soon. They had a lot of issues. He is such an incredible human being. I mean, just outside of his music, you can look up to the man he is, the person he is, because the way he lives his life is truly beautiful.
Yeah, and his attitude, it's a very positive attitude. It's very optimistic. It's a message of hope. And he's had his fair share of, you could say, other people see it as bad luck, right? I mean, he had an accident when he was younger. He lost his sight, but he wasn't going to let that ruin his life.
No.
He has made the most of it, and he's embraced all the kind of gifts that he was given, and he has been given, okay, doesn't have sight, but he's got this incredible voice. And okay, he doesn't have sight, but he's got this sense, this he's able to read the room or feel the room or sense the room in a way that sighted people just can't, because they've lost the skill, or they've lost the instinct, or they've lost this, yeah, they've lost their reliance on a kind of more ephemeral, more subtle sense. So in some ways he has something that most of us don't have. And I'm not talking just of the voice.
Oh, sure. No, 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 no. Yes, yes.
It's another kind of, yeah, energetic thing, or just figuring out how people react when someone enters the room. He can tell. And actually, even just walking around, if it's a quiet environment, just from the way his shoes
Hmm.
echo off the ground, and from the way the sound bounces and gives him echo, that feeds information that tells him a lot about the world. So he can kind of sense the environment around him, yeah, as long as it's quiet.
That's beautiful. Now, I would love to hear, as a director, you have some incredible films behind you. You've had an amazing career. How was it working with somebody like this that is so in tune as a human being? Now you're behind the scenes, you're documenting his life, yet he is so in tune as a person. For you as a director, was it a lot different now getting to work with somebody like this that is so in tune with the world around them, so aware and so just understanding, kind of has this energy and you can feel what's happening around him? Did that impact the way that you would kind of communicate or work with him in sense of as a director with the subject of a documentary?
Well, from a filmmaking point of view, it was a great privilege not just to capture, make a portrait of someone who
Mm,
has this kind of, so well known, but you get the access to this private life, then that's a privilege as a documentary filmmaker.
sure.
But the other thing, which was a real privilege for me as a documentarian, was to be able to film him observationally, because I came out of film school and everyone said, what documentaries are dead and they're shown one day on television. And, this was like 20 years ago, because
Sure, sure.
for 20 years and you'll never be able to make a living from them. And, you better get another job. Then the streamers came along,
Oh, sure. Yeah, yeah.
before things like Netflix. You just didn't, documentaries were just one night on television on
Yeah, 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 yeah.
television. So the streamers gave documentaries a new lease, a new momentum. However, with most streamers, the documentaries you can make and these series are all very retrospective.
Mm,
As in they need to know, before they give you the money, is they need to know the ending. They need to know the structure. They need to know all sorts of things, so that from a formal point of view, they're very much relying on interviews and reconstructions and a bit of archive.
mm.
So I went to the National Film School in England, and I came from a tradition which really valued observational filmmaking. And I did make a film which was very observational on the oldest horse race in the world in Siena, about 10 years ago now. But that was an incredible film, and it was a sporting event, and the New York Times coined it as Rocky on horseback.
Oh, sure. Okay. Yes, yes.
Yeah, it's called Palio, and that was and I got private financing to do that,
Oh, wow.
because no one was going to give me money for a horse race. I mean, we don't know who's going to
That
win.
was
We don't know anything, and I know, and you're like, no, but it's really incredible that all these districts are competing, and it's not really a horse race; it's a game of corruption, and it's
Mm,
very Italian. Anyway, and then, of course, it came out brilliantly, and I had picked 3 people out of 10 jockeys, 3 of them, and they were the protagonists that summer, so it all was, like, remarkable.
sure.
With Andrea, what was remarkable is that I was allowed to do observational filming again, because, it's Andrea Bocelli, so whatever you want kind of thing, you
Yeah,
know?
yes, yes.
And I was like, "Okay, let's really make a portrait of this person who's so interesting and has something unique, which is this incredible art and his relationship with his voice, his relationship with life as as someone who can't see and yet has this whole other dimension to them. And so to capture the world of sound, to capture this other dimension was a great privilege and really enjoyable. And
Oh,
to
yes.
be in the room with him, and the whole crew was just amazed. When
Oh,
he practices, you feel the voice.
yes.
It slams you, you're like the force of that voice. And that was extraordinary. I mean, I don't think, that was a unique opportunity and a unique occasion for me. I don't think I'll be with another tenor, you know, up close, feeling. You never, on stage, you can't, when you go and see them, you don't feel the voice.
Mm.
This time we could really feel the voice. That was really exciting.
Oh,
I gotta say,
yes.
what I loved, you documented so many things. I don't even know where to begin. But the one thing that I enjoyed, everything you documented behind his home life and everything. But when he was singing with his daughter, that moved me so much.
Mm,
Just
yeah.
her voice, I didn't know. I was like, oh, that's his daughter, and it was amazing. And did she get that? Is that a genetic thing that's passed on the voice? Because she was amazing at a young age of 11.
I mean, definitely it's passed on, but it's also
Mm,
cultivated by growing up in a household where it's played every day and where it's part of everyday life. It's just, and as he says, for us, it's a game almost. When he
Mhm.
sings with his children, he
Okay.
feels it's a game
Yes.
because they've done it all their life. But what was really wonderful as a filmmaker to capture was the little girl's nerves before going on stage. She had stage fright.
Yeah.
I mean, she was going to sing in Madison Square Garden in front of, I don't know,
Oh,
20
sure. Yeah.
people. And she was so scared, and the way her parents were relaxing her, and they were like, they just knew she had to go through it. And
Mhm.
they believed in her. So she was believing in herself, and she
That's
was
great.
so nervous, and then she got on that stage
Mhm.
with her father's support, sharing the stage with her father, sharing this beautiful song, hitting these incredible notes. And so we see her on camera conquering her fear and coming
Yes.
on that stage and with ah,
Yeah.
and
True.
She looks so
Yeah.
cool in the back. She's such a like she did it. Yeah. Yeah.
did it, and she
Yeah.
conquered it. And
That's
that's
great.
what we do when we're young. We have these fears, and then we have to push ourselves out there, and we have to conquer those fears, and we have to, believe in ourselves, and we have to dream. It's good to dream, and it's good to believe in our dreams, and we have to work hard to make them happen. And along the way, not forget the importance of our relationship with our families and our friends, and take care of those, value them.
I think that's so beautiful. Now, this is such a great thing because it segues almost into yourself as a documentarian, right? When you said it yourself, this is a great privilege, but also a huge responsibility and undertaking. Because again, I'd love to hear how you felt when you finally got the green light and the go ahead to say, okay, you can now undertake this amazing project. How did you feel? Did you have any of those nerves inside of you? Did you say, okay, this is going to be amazing? I'd love to go through your whole process when you said, I'm actually going to be making this amazing piece about this incredible human being like that.
Well, it's the first time that I was making a film on someone so well known, right?
Mhm.
It's not my usually I
Yeah.
make films on, like, a series I did for Netflix was on the oldest rehab in Europe.
Yes.
And it's kind of a portrait of a community that starts as a kind of hippie commune full of good intentions, and then something it became too big too fast, and then it became a dystopic reality in the 90s. And so it's kind of, so this was the first time, and that with that comes, yeah, enormous responsibility, great opportunities,
Sure.
to film observationally, but also I kind of, I had to be vetted by a lot of people along the process, the record label, the producers, the family. But I hardly noticed. In fact, my producers were quite good. They just said, "Let's just go meet Andrea. Oh, some people will be there, but, just focus on Andrea." So they were very good at, not making me aware that it was such a kind of vetting situation.
Sure, sure.
I believe in being yourself, and I grew up really near him in Tuscany, so we had this kind of relationship where I could speak with the local dialect. I
Oh, that's
grew up.
great. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We share a kind of the sense of humor of that area. And then and I grew up, yeah, this is a very rural area, and I went to school with rural kids, and so did he. So we had some, I mean, obviously he's a bit older than me, but we shared some common ground. And for me, it's always thrilling to, and I always see it as a privilege to enter someone else's microcosm,
Mm.
else's life, whoever that person may be. I try and treat everyone with the same respect in that way, because imagine opening up your house to some crew. You have
Oh,
to, it's
yeah.
an act of
Yeah.
faith, and there is always that level of, obviously in this documentary was a joy that, there was no antagonist, and
No, no, this was great. Yes, yeah, yeah.
in that way, it was quite a delight to make this film. Because in the film series or whatever, you always have to, the narrative. So then you have these kind of moments of
Mm.
existential crisis when you've made a documentary and you've captured someone, and then, you're told, no, you've got to really push the sense of they're the antagonist. And then you kind of feel, "Oh my god, that person trusted they could let me in, and now
Oh,
am I depicting them in a bad light?" And, you get a lot of that when you're making a documentary. But in this one,
Yeah.
it was just celebrating and really focusing on these positive qualities that Andrea has, and also really enjoyed capturing his relationship with his wife and the
Oh,
fact
they were fantastic together. They were playful. It was a beautiful relationship. Yet you can see the love. Yeah, yeah.
I love depicting married couples because I suppose it's also my parents have been married for like 50 years.
Oh, that's great.
So I grew up with this couple bickering the whole time, but actually being bruised.
And
And I think it's always quite a good theater, husband and wife.
Mhm.
That's great.
When it works,
It-
then it works. Because
It's true.
I mean, it's like there's always this role play in a
yes,
relationship. And Veronica, I mean, I wish I was married to Veronica. She's a
she's
force of
Yeah.
nature.
yes,
Great.
Yeah,
yes,
she's not only absolutely stunning, but she's also incredibly intelligent and organized and driven and
yes.
and she's unstoppable. She
Oh,
really
but she's a force of nature. I love that scene where they're joking around and she goes, "Well, if you stop moving, I'm leaving." That's it, right? Like it's like the banter between each other was so fun. It was real. I just
banter.
yes,
That's
yes,
it.
yep, yeah,
Brilliant banter. It's
exactly.
and he's always saying, when I met Veronica, I just wanted to relax with her. Relax. I didn't want to work. And she was
Yeah.
like, no, we're going out there and we're working. And you're gonna, she gave him a new lease on life. Because he was tired and a little depressed.
Mm,
And that gorgeous girl, she was only 21 and
sure.
he was in love and he wanted to do other things. He didn't want to go out there and start his career. He'd had enough of it in a
Enough.
way,
Yeah.
but living it through her eyes and through her energy and enthusiasm, it's great because it's given us all these other songs and this whole other chapter in his life.
It was incredible to see them together, and that's it felt throughout the entire documentary, like you said, like we were on a journey and we were guests in his
Yeah.
home. We were guests in his life. I love the way you portrayed the family, him, his friends, because I love that you didn't go in that antagonistic route. I felt like I was just a part of his world throughout this beautiful journey that you took us on.
Yeah, and a lot of people when they become famous, I mean, it just happens they lose that connection with
Mhm.
their home or I imagine, not that I would know,
Oh,
but
sure, yeah, no, no, sure,
yeah,
sure.
the fact that he's been so loyal to his friendship group.
Yes.
I mean, the guy who was sitting next to him at dinner, who's runs the local pastry
Oh,
shop,
yeah, yeah.
selling cakes.
Yeah.
I didn't go deep into him as a character, but someone told me, oh, he took him to the White House with him
Huh.
to meet the American president.
There.
Uh,
That's a good friend. That's a good friend.
yeah.
Friend, his childhood friend, because he is the first one to acknowledge that he's also the product, not just of this beautiful voice he's
Mm,
being bestowed with and that he looks after, but and Veronica, but also his friendship group and his family, his brother, they give him that support that he needs to
mm,
feel confident in himself and to feel happy. His children. So I think he really represents, what can really happen when yes, you have adversity. Everyone has difficult moments in life, but he is sustained by this incredibly wholesome, healthy kind of network of friends and family and the landscape that the area is part of Italy. I mean, he's lucky, I'm lucky. We grew up in this beautiful area, not polluted,
oof,
not polluted in terms of not chemicals but also sounds. He's in the countryside.
mm.
It's a very beautiful place. Yeah.
100%. I thought the cinematography, you felt like you were there the entire time. Again, I loved it the way he felt. Now, I think what's beautiful is not only are you showcasing his life, like you said, you're showing a lot of Tuscany, Italy around the world. This is a really culturally relevant documentary, just not about himself, but about just the world in general, because you get to see the Tuscan people, his friend group, and actually see that warmth and community throughout this documentary, which was great.
Yeah, and rural communities are beautiful things, and it's a way of life that now they're making studies, in these blue
Mm,
zones,
Mm.
like And what is a blue zone? A blue zone is not only to do with your diet and your movement, but also that sense of community. Even, we all know alcohol is bad for us, but
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
having a glass of wine with a group of friends that actually alters your whole uh, health.
Sure, sure.
Good for the soul
Yep.
to companionship with community. And we are more and more living these isolated lives with our telephones. And let's not
Yes.
forget what's really good for us. It's not the likes, it's not this whole other dimension, which is a virtual dimension, but it's also made of the air we breathe and the food we eat and the people we surround ourselves with. And you know, and that's Andrea as well. He
Yes.
he sees the value in all those things.
100%, and you did
Yep.
such a good job on showcasing that, and you talk about community. I think it's fantastic and so well deserved. I'm so happy that you guys had to have your premiere at the Toronto International Film Festival, which is a phenomenal festival. You've had great success, obviously, in the festival circuit with Tribeca and all around the world. How did the family feel? How did Andrea feel yourself to say, "Okay, we're having that premiere at, Toronto." What an amazing festival. What an amazing place to showcase this story around the world.
Well, you know what? It was great because people really laughed whilst watching it. And they laughed a lot more than I thought. I mean, I'm always laughing. I mean, obviously by the end of it, I've seen it so often. I'm thinking about the technical things,
And
and
now
it's
you're looking at everything. Yeah,
the
exactly. Yeah.
sound mix. Oh, that should be higher. Oh,
Mhm.
but it was really fantastic. People came out of it feeling joyful and hopeful and optimistic.
That's
And
great.
that's the ambition for the project, for the film. So I hope lots of people will go and see it if they want. I mean, it's a brutal period at the moment out there, worldwide. So if you want something that makes you feel better with the world, then you should go and see this film.
You're 100% right. And that's what it absolutely did. You felt good the whole time. You felt good afterwards. And that's very refreshing because there's not many productions at all anymore that you watch that makes you feel good throughout and then at the end. I love this. You felt good. You got to see somebody changing the world. I thought it was fantastic. Like you said, you had an amazing responsibility to not only Andrea, but his whole family and friend group. How did they feel getting to see this and say, you know what? I mean, because they had to feel so good to see themselves and the family like
Yeah.
this.
And we did the whole kind of Tribeca thing, which was really
Yeah, 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 yeah.
but the first screening we did, because I had to show Veronica and Andrea the film. So
Sure.
I said, let's rent a cinema. Well, the producers kindly and generously said, let's rent a little cinema near in this village, which is so beautiful, called Pietrasanta, where a lot of artists live because it's by the marble quarries.
Oh, nice.
And it's like 20 minutes from their house. So we went, and it's, has a beautiful old cinema. I mean, it's like Cinema Paradiso kind of
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
Nice.
And,
Yeah, beautiful.
and I thought it would just be, me, Veronica, Andrea, maybe their kids.
Hmm.
They're like the day before, they're like, "Oh, we're coming with just our group of closest friends," and there was like 60 people there. All
Yeah.
his friends,
That's great.
Everybody. Yeah, yeah.
like the whole community. And I was, and I hadn't shown anyone yet, so and that one I was nervous.
Nervous.
That one I was really nervous, and and then Andrea, he can't see the film, he can hear it. And so Veronica was sitting next to him and just describing the film to him.
Oh, wow. Yes.
He was listening to it, and then she was saying, and now this is happening.
Hmm.
This is the shot. And then all, and her mother was there, and his brother was, I mean, they were all there. And the one guy, I won't make names, said, "Why wasn't more of me in it?" One of the people. Yeah, you could have put more of me in.
For,
Why?
for me, that's the
For me, it was a classic. It was classic. So
that's funny.
I put more of that person in. But they didn't ask for
Oh, did you?
they didn't ask for changes, so that meant they liked it. And then
Yes.
when Andrea speaks about the film, I think he really feels it's his film, and
Oh,
that's great. So I was kind of the enabler, and I spent like a year making this film. So
sure.
the fact that he feels it's his film, for me, it's a great compliment.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
I'm like, yes, it's your story. I've used your voice. And, he speaks this beautiful Italian. It's a very kind of, it's not pretentious,
Mm.
not showy offy at all, but it's like a last century's Italian. It's Tuscan. It's a very kind of very perfect Italian. And so editing it was really easy because sometimes, you have ums and ahs and this and people talk. I mean, I made a film on my grandmother, and my gosh, to get a complete sentence, we had to do 5 interviews to get the end of the story because she'd
Sure.
go. But he was always very neat and tidy, and it was a joy to work with that quality of narration and voice and openness.
I mean, this sounds like an incredible experience from start to finish. I mean, what an amazing journey you got to go on. Now, what's great is this going to be released September 21st, 24th in theaters worldwide. You have to also be excited about that because I love the fact
Yeah.
that you're getting documentaries back in the theaters. There should be more. I love it. I think that's great.
I mean, how rare is it to get a documentary in the
Right?
cinema?
I
And
love it.
also, this is with incredible soundtrack, with opera and his
Mhm.
pop songs. So where it's not the same watching it in on your iPad in bed.
No,
It's
no.
to be seen in the cinema with that sound and yeah.
Absolutely, that's so amazing. I cannot wait for this. I'm definitely gonna go myself. I can't wait to check it out. I mean, obviously on a screener, but to see it again in the cinema is gonna be amazing. Now, I can't wait. Once this is out there, do you have any other kind of knowing? Can you let us know what's next for the film? Are you gonna be going towards that streaming route? Are you still gonna be shopping it around? If you're
Yeah.
able to tell us a little bit about what's
What with
next.
this film? With this
Yes, yes,
film? Yes, I'm sure. I'm sure.
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, people will love this. This will be
I mean, that's you see, my job finishes the minute we finish the color grading and the
yep.
sound. Then it's up to, then it's literally, it's like it's out of your, this thing you've been living with every day and just thinking about at night. And, suddenly it's like you're handing over the baby and you have no control of what
It's over.
happens.
Yep, yep. That's it.
It's like now it's up to the producers to do that. This is their moment.
Is that a feeling of relief? Is that a feeling of almost, dread?
Bittersweet, I
It's
would say
bittersweet. Yes, yes.
bittersweet.
I
In
can
some
imagine.
ways, you've spent so much time and you're like ready to let go and think of but there's also this, you've sustained this level of concentration for so long that there's always a kind
Mm.
of slight lull and you're like, oh God, I'm never going to make another film again.
That's it. I'm done. That is it.
I mean, my family always teases me because every time I'm about to make a film, I say, this is the last film I'm.
That's it.
So the past
I mean,
few years, they used to say this. They'd be like, "Oh my God, she's gonna give up after this."
That's
Now,
well, I'm
now they,
glad you made it, honestly, because I go to the theater all the time, and I actually like to get together with my mother and take her to the theater. But lately, she's been not impressed by the movies, to say the least. So I'm very excited to take it to this
oh,
movie
I
when it
hope
comes
she
out.
enjoys it.
She will, just like my
That is a
grandparents would.
responsibility now.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
love it.
And the world will enjoy what you're creating. Now, I'm loving it. I can't believe we've been on for 45 minutes already.
Oh,
You
wow.
are really an incredible individual. Now, before we have to get going, you talk about making movies. You say, I'm never doing another one, but I can't wait for our fans to learn what's next for you. Is there any films
Oh,
that are upcoming? I can't wait to learn a little more about what's coming up in your life.
so I'm working on 2 series. I've developed 2 series, but I'm not allowed to tell you what they.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Well, everybody knows there's
Sign
something there. So
the NDAs. They're both Italian stories.
that's great.
Oh, great.
One is a very kind of international story, and I don't know if it's going to happen. And the other one's a very kind of local and more kind of ecological story. Yeah. So
Well, I have to say, once you do get these made, and I'm sure they will, we'd love to have you back on because really, you are an
I'd love
incredible.
that.
No, you
Yeah.
are really an incredible individual. Now, for our fans that are watching, is there any place they can learn more about you? Is there any kind of social media places websites so they can learn more about yourself or follow along with
Yeah.
your journey?
Yeah, they can Google my name, Cosima Spender,
Yep.
Cosima Spender, and or my Instagram, or yeah, I've got a
And is your Instagram your name? The Cosima Spender, is that the Instagram handle for that?
yes, yes, all one
Excellent.
word.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll make sure to have links in the description below because really,
Great.
this is yes,
Absolutely.
100%. This has been really incredible. Not
Yes.
only did you create an incredible journey, an incredible piece of cinema and art, but you're such a fun, great individual, right? I love seeing that. I must imagine Andrea must have had a blast with you around. I can see how you could communicate great with your, your actors and the people around you. This has really been a pleasure having you on the show. I have to thank you so much for really coming on.
Well, it's been great fun for me too.